Hey there, everyone. This is the Chaotic Teal, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap. Last time, which was last night, we started the game and got through the first dungeon. Also did about 17 Kinstone fusions, if my tracking was correct. Excuse me. There were a couple of things that I was wrong about that I want to go ahead and correct. The first one is that the Minish Cap Guide doesn't actually have a checklist for the Kinstone fusions. It just says, for the green ones, you can fuse Kinstones with these people randomly. The second thing is, they're not intentionally any missable Kinstone fusions. So we don't have to be quite as careful of that as I thought we did. I've seen some mixed messages on whether or not you can determine... Good grief. Anyway, mixed messages on whether or not you can determine the Kinstone fusions that can occur after the first set. Good grief. And what I mean by that is the first set is the stuff that's available. Okay, nothing right now. Anything that... Actually, wait, we're gonna need an empty bottle. Is going to be available for a particular story event that'll happen after we get through this area. Right. Need shield for this. Hello. Hey, you got me. I'll make it up to you by telling you something good. A friend of mine in a cave just east of here in Trophy Highlands has an item. If you're planning on going up Mount Krennel, I think you might need it. It won't get you to the top, but it might just give you a start. That would be what points us towards that bottle-bearing Deku Scrub, which we need to grow that vine and get up here. Dust Jar is probably our best bet here. Anyway, the only thing in the game that is actually missable is the late game item that I brought up before. So, we're good on that front. There's also fairies in here. We have a bottle now, but we're still gonna need it. A couple of things. So, something I'm going to point out now. while we're using the spin attack, we can, you know, poke walls. Notice that that's a different sound. So, I don't remember if this was a thing in any other Zelda game before this, but Minish Cap at a minimum gives you just a nice little way to check if something can be blown up without having to use a bomb on it. Also, I love these funky little crystals that we bounce off of. So, this perfectly normal-looking stone was another portal to the Minish world. There may be other rock portals. Keep your eyes peeled, boy. Okay, now we're gonna need the ball. Thankfully, though this is special water, there's not any kind of timer on the Malcrenal mineral water to get it anywhere in a particular time frame. Also, whatever those gray things are, they do hurt you if you touch them. That's part of why I like having the Gust Jar here. Also, the Gust Jar just eats keys for breakfast, which is entertaining. Once you've pulled off their iron masks, those guys are no trouble whatsoever. Yep, got it. I think part of why Eslo's hand-holding never really bothered me is that I've always just found it entertaining to do whatever it is he's about to tell me to do before he can tell me to do it. Of course. How silly of me. Hey, my boy, jump into that whirlwind over there for me. I wonder, is this a great idea or a terrible one? So we can use Eslo to float around between these whirlwinds. Doesn't seem to have further comments on that idea. Which is fine. I'm not sure that this specific design for Tektites actually showed up anywhere else. Got a Kinstone, got some money. That is a piece of art. Nice lucrative cave there. Also, this is kind of funny. we can see... Do these damage me? No. But these are those same flies that we can encounter when we're Minish-sized. They're just currently not. Or rather, they are, we aren't. And I think that this is the only case where we can encounter Minish enemies in the overworld. Which is even more curious. That was the point that I wasn't sure if you might be able to hit them on the overworld as a Minish. Pardon me, just stealing your stuff. Hello. Water is light for Krenel beans. The blue beans grow when you pour water on them. The green beans like Mount Krenel mineral water. Mount Krenel mineral water can only be found on a spring here in Mount Krenel. Well, really, the spring is closer to the base of Mount Krenel. Thanks, friendo. There's this funky little cave over here. It's got bugs in it. I think the only other... Well... I'm trying to remember if there was a gust jar in one of the Oracle games. I know I streamed through both of them a couple years ago, and it's wild to me that it's been a couple years since then. But... okay, there's not another Minish house over here. I thought there was for some reason. Oh right, I still need to be Minish. But I think the only game that the Gust Jar has appeared in since Minish Cap was Skyward Sword, in the form of the Gust Bellows. And it doesn't have the same level of functionality there. Yeah, I just have so many questions. They can't hurt us when we're big. They can't hurt us when we're small. Speaking of things that can hurt you when you're small, though, that counts as falling into a pit. Anyway, we've seen everything that the base of Mount Krenel has to offer. It is not a big area. I mean, barring kinstone fusions that we haven't gotten to yet. Mount Krenel itself is substantially larger. And here we are, properly, not just in a little nook. Those little hiding beetle-y things are super annoying when they put rocks on their heads. Because we can't break rocks. I think that it's possible to pick up a rock off the head of one of those things. Also, this is kind of funny. That's what we call a speedrun skip. But we're gonna do this proper. Layers are weird in top-down Zelda games. It usually doesn't come up, but it's funny when it does. Anyway, I think you can pick up the rocks off the heads of those enemies, but you're liable to get hit doing it. These things. Silver Choo-Choos are a Minish Cap original. They jump at you, and if you get in range, they'll go all spiky and invincible. And bombs are probably a safe bet to just keep equipped. You can stun Silver Choo-Choos with bombs. It'll take them out right if they're in their normal form. And if they're spiky, then it'll just daze them. Which does keep them from turning spiky again for a minute. I believe that those two rocks. Okay, maybe just the one rock. Nope, they're both guys. Okay, you can pick it up off their head. You're just, again, liable to get hit by something if you try. Switching back to this. Wait, no, I need a shield. Hey there, friendo. Okay, you got me. Let me make it up to you. This fabulous grip ring is just perfect for a young mountaineer like yourself. Climb in style for only 40 rupees. What a bargain. What do you say, huh? Yeah. Thanks a lot. Now, do you still choose violence if I come back in? No. I ain't got nothing to sell. That's so many bombs. Now that we have the grip ring, we can actually climb these funky looking walls. Disco tiles strike again. Who knows what secrets they may hold. It is a little funny just how minimal that speedrun skip I brought up earlier actually skips. It's only that cave. You still need the grip ring to do anything, so you just have to come over here. Rude. Okay. Do a little percussive maintenance here. Because this is a fairy fountain with a piece of heart. Get ourselves a fairy friend. I'm gonna keep... Yeah, we'll go with Boomerang. So, last time I mentioned that I was working on a damageless run of this game. Damageless 100% run in undergrad. This flip was awful. I enjoy throwing bombs in water. Welcome to the Adventurer's Spring. Did you throw the golden bomb into the spring? Or the silver bomb? No. You are honest. I must reward such an honest adventurer with some of my power. May light shine on your quest. Case in point. Your mobility is so limited on the mountain that it's extremely common for you to just get hit with a boulder that you can't avoid. I believe that this is the only blue Tektite in the game. Blue Tektites are faster and a little more durable than their red counterparts. The same goes for Octoroks, really most enemies. They have... This is why I don't pick those up. Anyway. Minish Cap's enemy design takes a lot of cues from Zelda 1, in that some things have a red or orange and a blue variant, and the blue ones are usually stronger. I'm the Krenel Hermit. I left the world to pursue a life of quiet reflection. You seem to be but a child, and yet you climbed this forbidding mountain alone? I must reward your courage with a little information. Have you not seen strange patterned walls as you climb this mountain? Bombs. Bombs are the answer. This is one of those things that I feel like they picked exactly the wrong spot to put that advice. Opened a thing up down there. Because there's this weird patterned wall right outside. But bombs don't do anything. The Krenel Hermit tends to be a common fallback for Kinstone fusions. If there's a random fusion that you can't fulfill anymore, there's a reasonable chance that the Krenel Hermit has it. That's not gospel or anything, but it's a fairly common occurrence. Which may also mean that I was incorrect about not being able to fuse with the random characters more than once. These raindrops are like boulders of water to us, kid. Watch out. If one of them hits us, it'll sting something fierce. This section is easier because you don't have any reduced mobility. But that's 2 sections in a row that are rough for a damageless run. I don't think that I got further than this next dungeon in those plans. Also, an appreciable use of the Dark and Stormy Night music from Link to the Past here. You better watch out. You better watch out. You better watch out. You better watch out. Almost every time I go through this cave, those rude creatures just fling themselves down the hallway there. It's super easy to just not pay attention and get caught. Well, that wasn't quite the goal. Okay, it doesn't slow you down at all. It just makes you unable to use items. Which still isn't great. There are 2 ways to approach this room, and both of them require using the Gust Jar. That's unfortunate. Really, your only options there are which mushroom do you take. You can Gust Jar the one across the way, or you can just pull the one that's closest. I kind of like that those springy mushrooms show up in at least a couple other places. Thank you. Can I get this with the... Yeah. They expect you to throw a bomb across the way for that. I believe that pot is always a red rupee. Though it might always be a red rupee the first time you get it. Huh? No? We've got another rock puzzle. I would say, weirdly fond of moving boxes puzzles. Objectively speaking, moving box puzzles shouldn't be very fun at all. And they hit a puzzle pitfall that I don't like as a game designer, in that it's generally pretty easy to get them into unsolvable states. Ding along, tong along, dig along for iron. Ding along, tong along, dig down, dig around, dig the ground for iron. This mine belongs to Malari and us, his 7 apprentices. Did you ting along, tong along all this long way to get your sword repaired? The boss is down on the lowest level. As a designer, I tend to be fairly opposed to puzzles that can require a reset button. Ting along, tong along. Deep down, dig join the ground. Because I think that there's a fundamental flaw in your puzzle if the user can easily get it into an unwinnable state. Now, there are cases where you can move something so far from the starting position that it becomes easier to reset it, and it's good to have one for those instances. But it's frustrating to rely on the reset button. If you head outside from here, you can go see the mine the humans dug. But the boss doesn't let anyone go in there without permission. What? Ting along, tong along. Huh? What? Who am I? Why, my lad, I'm the second best of the Minish metalsmiths. I'm making swords with the boss. Ting along, tong along. Huh? What? Who am I? Well, I'm no less than the third best of the Minish metalsmiths. I'm making swords with the boss. Green clothes, and an odd hat. Sir, might you be young Link? I am Malari, Master Smith. I hear you want me to reforge the sacred sword and help break a curse. What we need in the old sword, which holds the power of the elements, first. Show me that broken Bikori blade. I love all this adventure, what with the rescuing of princesses and such. I'd be happy to reforge this thing into a brand new sacred blade for you. It'll take me a while to rework your sword. In the meantime, you should track down the missing elements. One of them should be in the mine the humans dug. It's not far from here. Alright, let's get started. Be a while, Link. Let's leave him to it and find that element. What? You're going to the mine? If you talk to the boss, it won't stop you, but be careful. But yeah, the reliance on a reset button is what really bugged me about Island Maze. Which... Huh, excuse me. I streamed a few years ago. Wow, it's hot in here. Come on, let's not stand around wasting time. Find that element so we can get out of here. Not close enough. So, these little guys are just the bombs. I don't think that I've ever interpreted their sprite correctly before now. Your sword won't make a dent in their thorny armor. Flip them over before you strike. It says low. Got it. At least we finally know where the blue shell comes from. So that is a rupee light. They're a relative of the like family of monsters. Also, just for my interpretation of this bomb sprite, I've always seen the white as an eye, and the red as kind of weird little cheeks. But I think the red is the eyes. They're just perpetually facing diagonally. Which is an interesting choice. Whatever. We got 200 rupees again. This must be what the humans who built this mine used to get around here. Maybe we should hop in. What? After all this, don't expect me to believe that you're scared. Nothing to be afraid of here. Come on, let's go. I have violence to do first, Eslo. Look at that 1 rupee we would have missed. We jumping jellyfish, that was awful. Hey kid, what are you smiling about? I knew it was madness to risk our lives in that rickety human contraption. From now on, let's just stick to our feet. Well, I mean, your feet. Yeah. I tend to like using the bombs to solve bomb-related disputes. Because then I don't have to switch through my inventory quite as much. Oh, that was hard. How interesting. So there's a portal hidden away in here. Whenever you want me to shrink you down, just hop up here and press R. And note, we didn't have to watch a shrinking animation this time. There's just not one, which is kind of weird. Those portals, very specifically, do not have animations for you falling through the portal and coming out. And I'm not sure why. Alas, we are too teensy to acquire that piece of heart right now. There we go. Nice strong gust of wind can put out all of that fire. This is the dungeon map. I'm getting this box over here. Oh my! It looks really, really hot in that lava. Trust me, falling into that would be a bad idea. I'm sure you agree. We don't exactly have a lot of time on these things, so it's better to take care of those pots from a distance. So these little pill bug kind of things will instinctively roll up into a ball when hit. Also, look at that sprite. He's so cute. Anyway. They roll up into a ball when you hit them, and in their ball form, you can just drop them in holes like that to walk over them. This will be significant later. And it already got us 50 rupees now, so it's already significant if you ask me. Square buttons stay pressed. You push a little faster than you pull, so it's ideal to just get on the other side of that thing. Now, let's ride the rails again. At some point I should do a full analytic playthrough of Minish Cap. Can't do anything with that because it's not the right way up. Oh, maybe we can fall. Oh, we totally can. Okay, good to know. Secret bomb wall, which isn't very secret. But we got another heart container. We're only in the second dungeon and we've got 6 hearts. I guess a spin attack also stuns them when they're getting all spiky. That's good to know. I was hoping that I can kind of ambush them with the bombs, but I didn't quite time it correctly. Also, the can of Pachi is interesting. That's another Minish Cap exclusive item. Hey kid, why don't you take that cane of Pachi and fire it at that hole? I mean, you never know what'll happen until you try, right? Yup. So we can now use holes like that to gain just a little bit of extra height. There are a couple of places in the parts of Hyrule we've already been to where that could be useful. Actually, this is a solid time to head out of the dungeon for a little bit, because now that we have the cane, we can just use this shortcut to get right back up here. The Cane of Pachi doesn't affect most enemies. Which is kind of a shame. It freaks those things out, but I really wish that the rock just dropping on its head would take it out, instead of just dropping a rock on its head. I don't know, maybe that's mean, but it feels logical to me that the rock flipping would deal some form of blunt force trauma to the creature that was unfortunate enough to be wearing it as a hat. Okay, we needed a triangle wedge green kinstone for the Krenel Hermit. I believe that we still won't be able to get out to the north. Oh, we can. I guess now that we have the Cane of Pachi, we can open up a shortcut up there anyway. Not on the right side to do it, but we can do a little more exploring. Hopefully get some kinstones out of the deal, and then be able to wrap up. I want to say there are 4 more that we can do at this point in the game. Well, this is useless. This is also useless. We opened this area with a Kinstone Fusion earlier. That's a Fairy Fountain. Up this way, we can see a sneak peek at Vale Falls. Wow, look at the size of that waterfall. Beautiful. Simply beautiful, my boy. This strange rock thing wants to fuse kinstones with us, but we don't have any gold ones. So we'll just have to let that go. Nothing we can do there. Switch back to the cane. We got another bit of Vale Falls over here. with another piece of heart. Also, P has that drop bombs. Nothing there right now. Oh, but there will be. And that's a threat. Unfortunately, the cane does not allow us to hop over these small rocks. As much sense as that would make, it is illegal. Finally blow that up, though. Oh, darn it. It's worth making noise. Anyway. Laptop alarms being what they are. We can get tiny there, but we won't be able to do anything. Honestly, where did Dad go this time? I leave for just a few minutes and he walks off the ranch and takes off. So that's a dead end as well. A lot of dead ends in this area. Didn't go inside this house. There's nobody inside this house. If it's not obvious, I'm still having fun just meandering around and doing things at my own pace. Oh, hey. Welcome to the Adventurer's Spring. I have need of many rupees. Please, throw all of yours into the spring. Okay. Really? You know that if you do this, you will have absolutely no rupees left, right? You really throw them all in? You are most kind. I do not really need your rupees, but I must reward such a kind adventurer with some of my power. May light shine on your quest. So now we have a bigger wallet, which is neat. There should be a fair few more things we can do in Castle Town now. And we drained this little pond. Which just gives us some money. Heal up. Now let's actually wander around town again for a little bit, because... Thanks, buddy. We have the technology now to turn this place on its head. Getting the Cane of Pachi allows us to get tiny in more places in town. It's hard not to get stepped on when there are so many people here. This cafe is so busy. You can hear all sorts of stuff from all the people here. Also, I love that they've got little postage stamps as paintings. I love the Minish houses. We can talk up in the rafters here. What a nice smell! You want a triangle-y one, and I don't have one. I like those red hats the Forest Minish wear. I like these blue hats the Town Minish wear. The Forest Minish have come for a visit. I knew the city life would be exciting. Everyone here is so refined. And walk across this little plank to get into Stockwell's, and hoo boy. You got some bugs in your rafters, my guy. And some shells, I guess. Hello? Is anyone back there? No? Well, I guess not. How odd. Hello? Gad, I knew there was someone back here. When did you find your way back here? This area is for employees only. That is to say, me, and me alone. Does not have anything else unique to say to us right now. We are dropping frames like crazy again. Means this yeah, it says it's... Let's re-upload this one too. Good. Looks like that was just a weird blip. Seems like it's been fairly stable the rest of the evening. Okay, made it all the way over here. I had a class right before this, and I was able to be in the meeting for that without any issues. So, who knows? Anyway, bothering the townspeople aside, we can actually leave. Beep! One of the Minish! Beep! I'm not like my brothers. I won't chase you around and peck at you. Beep beep! Not only that, I also have some good info for you. Somewhere in Hyrule, there's a great fairy who helps honest adventurers. If you see her, answer her every question truthfully. Beep! We can actually fuse Kinstones with you. And of course, that's the one. Perfect! Beep! So, quick thing to note. Cats tend not to be particularly beneficial when you're this tiny. It's a lot easier for me not being anyone's pet. I don't have to wait around for meal times. I could just eat whatever I can find. You want to be careful when you're running around. You're awfully tiny. And not all dogs and cats are nice like me. Woof. Some of them might even take a swipe at you. Everyone wants that one. That's fair. Whoa! Did you see that cat looking at me? I know it wants a piece of me. Yeah, this cat will absolutely do violence. Wow, is that 3/4 of a heart? We can still fuse Kinstones, but we are going to get slapped. Anyway, bye. If we'd already come in there when we were big and flip that pot over, we could just grow back to normal size. But we haven't. We can sneak into the bakery, though. As long as we avoid the steam from the oven. The bread Wheaton makes has got to be the best bread in Hyrule. Sometimes I sneak off with a little nibble of leftover bread. There's not necessarily much to do in all of these places, but what a wonderful smell. We just love bread. For one thing, there are items you can get, but I also just think these areas are really nice. Minish Cap really makes good use of the everything's tiny factor in its environments. can sneak in here and just get a piece of heart that someone left lying around. And from all this wandering, we're only one step away from getting another heart container. Nothing else we can do over here. But we can get over here. Oh, sorry. Am I in your way? I just wanted a little attention. Anyway, it was nice of you to say hi. Sorry for the trouble. I'll move now. Sorry, buddy. The good news is, Growler here does actually move around now. Also, I don't think there's a single dog in the game that's actually aggressive towards you when you're this small. They just kind of stare at you. The boss might seem rough, but he's a real softie at heart. So busy, so busy. Gotta finish here so I can go repair the steps next. Listen up, you. I'm a skilled carpenter and I'm looking for a challenge. There have been a lot of creatures on the rampage lately. As a result, we're in a bit of a rush to get things repaired around here. Ooh, I'm busy, kid. The boss always makes sure we've got our noses to the old grindstone. I'm really quite good at tracking down rare figurines. Yeah, so we can now go through there. What is all of this? I'm busy, don't you see that? Do not disturb my research. If you have no business, be gone. You heard me. Can't get in there. But this. I collect those mysterious shells you've seen scattered all over the place. If you bring those shells to me, I'll trade you these figurines I've made. Ah, is that a mysterious shell? I've got an offer I'd like to make you. What do you say to trading it? A chance for winning a figurine. So how do we feel about gacha machines? Congratulations! I'll keep the figurine in the case on the left for you. You can see it anytime. So how do we feel about gacha machines? We feeling good about them? Want to try another drawing? Naturally, not every figurine is available yet. Minish living in Minish Village. He speaks some human languages. He sees the link of the human with one look. He's a bit of a human enthusiast. Appears in Minish roads, dungeons, etc. There are red and blue ones. The blue ones are stronger and throw things down on your head. I will probably just go through all of these, all the descriptions at the end. The categories these fall into. Green eggs are enemies. Like our Rollabite here. Blue eggs are characters. Friendly characters. Red, I believe, are all dioramas. And you can get figures of bosses in other special figurines in gold eggs. So it's the same kind of rarity as Pinstones, really. Now, we've gotten 7, I think. 7 or 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've gotten 8 of those now. I would guess only about 50 of them are available, just based on the 2% drop after each figure we get. But you can see that it's already starting to become less and less favorable that we'll get a figurine we don't have. Down to 80% already. We can put in more shells at once to get... Yep, there's our first duplicate. Oh, looks like you've already got that figurine. Too bad, isn't it? Well, I'll buy that figurine back from you for 5 rupees if you like. Hope you keep collecting and decide to come back again. We have Arceus Mysterious Shells. Really, the only reason to... And there's our second duplicate. The only reason to go through all of this right now is that just like... Well, just like rupees, Mysterious Shells do have a cap. They cap out at 999, and we've already seen that we can get a single chest with 100 or 200 shells. So this may be a less efficient route, time-wise. But... Oh, this is our first gold egg. And, yeah. I don't think that I got to it yesterday, but I really love that there are bosses in this game that are just normal enemies. You're just only dealing with them when you're super tiny, so they're extremely threatening by comparison. Hey, a Sligula! How this guy can have figurines made of all of these characters that we've only barely met, who knows? I do like that they have little stands for stuff that's flying. Third one of the Beatles. There's some Tektites. So this is the reason that 100% completing Minish Cap can be a slog. And that's another part of why I'm doing this now. Because it would feel a lot worse to have to spend an entire stream doing nothing but this. Now, right now, we could leave at any point and go back about our lives. I'm gonna start spending more shells once we get to less than 50% odds. Then we'll start seeing where this can really become a money sink. But also note, it takes like 10-15 seconds for a single attempt at this. Oh, that's another gold. Is that going to be another big green choo-choo? Oh no, Matterpillar. Nice. We haven't fought the boss of the Cave of Flames yet, so we shouldn't be able to get the figurine of it. Honestly, we're doing a lot better than I thought we would. Yeah, it takes 52 shells to guarantee that we get a figure we don't have at this point. We got 474 right now. It's weird that we're at an odd number percentage now. Maybe they have like 51 available or something. There's another big green choo-choo. But a couple of other notable points. One... Oh, sweet. That 5 rupees we get for a duplicate figurine does not change depending on how many shells we used. I can't believe we've gotten the beetle 4 times. So, spending 1 shell and getting 5 rupees, that's not bad. Oh hey, Octoroks. But getting 5 rupees in exchange for 50 shells? It's pretty awful. Here's another Festori. I am actually quite curious, though, what the dialogue is if we finish the figurine collection of what's already available. I wonder... Ooh, that's actually something. Okay, no. Unfortunately, we can't speed up a game in Switch Online. This is definitely one of the things that I would want substantially reworked in a Minish Cap remake. Five beetles. Okay, we have maximum rupees now. Which I didn't think was going to be the case. Yeah, we can't get to that stuff in Minish form quite yet. Now, let's check in with Stockwell. For one thing, our wallet still isn't big enough for this. Stockwell has 30 shells. They cost 200 rupees. So, even if we use only 1 shell at a time, it would cost us 40 shells to get 40 duplicate figurines, and thus 200 rupees back. That's a cost of, like... yeah, 6.6 repeating rupees per shell. So let's just buy some pastries again. I will not be stopped. Mostly, we clearly need some of the green kinstones with the little triangle thingy. That was not one of them. I'm not going to say no to a blue kinstone. We can get one more round of these. There's also that chest in Lon Lon Ranch, which I believe has 200 rupees in it. The good news is, there's a solid chance that Link is working off all of these cards. You know, running around and fighting people and stuff. I mean, not usually fighting people. Now this is something I'm curious of. So we get a green egg, and that green egg has a chaser in it. Let's say we back up to here. Green egg has a chaser in it. If we back up to the point that we put in the shells, green egg, chaser. Okay, so the cursor doesn't advance the random number generation. This is just for science at this point. We put in 2, and we got a green egg with a chaser. This is just for me at this point. How far do we have to go before we get a different result? I know that in speedrunning, because there is a 100% category, and you do have to do this. I mean, not this specifically. This would immediately disqualify a speedrun. but I know that there have been RNG manipulations for a little while. Let's say we go up to 20. Still a green egg. Still a chaser. What if we go up to 40 shells? Now we get a different result. Do get the P-hats at 35. Yes. What about at 30? No. We do get them at 32. Okay. So... the defining point here is 66 to 67%. Which means that at that point, it must be rolling over to a new definition for what that value is. Because clearly something is determined by this point. I mean, even... okay, we can't actually go far enough back to change this. Also, I'm not going to feel bad about applying shenanigans to this, both because it's fascinating. Oh, that's actually new. Both because it's fascinating, and because doing it legit is just a lot of time and energy. I mean, not really a lot of energy, just a lot of time. Okay, so that's a P-hat. Presumably, this should still be a P-hat. Yes. If I say don't trade here, and then I trade, and use one. Whoops. Still a green egg. Still p-hats. Let's say we go all the way up to 20. Still p-hats. How about 30? Is the defining number still 66%? No. Then we go up to 50 again. Do we get a different result? No. How about 60? No. Really determined to be p-hats this time. 65? That's something different. So in this case, okay, 64 or 94% is the magic number. Another blip there. So my guess is that we're getting a random number. A random number between 1 and 100 or 0 and 1, however you want to look at it. If that number that we generate is greater than our probability of getting a new figure as it displays here. So in this case, if that number is greater than 94, it will be this figurine that we already have. But if the generated number is less than our probability from the shells we put in, then it'll give us a new figure, which must also in some way be determined by the current random seed. It could be that it just skips along the table for a minute and just finds the next figurine that we don't have. Because if it was, okay, we'll just generate a random figurine that you don't have, we wouldn't get the Helmasaur on both of them. So I guess that's another question. If we go, progressively up to 100, I mean, may as well just check 100. Do we still get the Helmasaur? Yes. So, we're getting figure A, the P-Hat that we already own, if we don't put in enough shells. And we're getting figure B, the Helmasaur, if we do. So here's another question. Let's go all the way back down to 1. We'll just take the L on that P-Hat. Will we get the Helmasaur here in a few rolls before we get... No. We won't get the Helmasaur. So it must not be skipping ahead to whatever the next unowned figurine is. Could it be the next unowned figurine in that same category? I'm just going to keep throwing in one shell until I get an unowned green figurine. Now, I'm sure that I could find something a little more conclusive if I were playing this on an emulator and had RAM watches going. Okay. No. It's not even the next unowned figure of that same type. And beetles. Beetle number 6, I think? So... I forgot that the golden eggs could have the golden enemies in them. I mean, that makes sense. I guess, to back up a little bit, in case this is all just incomprehensible nonsense that I've been babbling about for the last 20 minutes. Computers don't really do randomness very well. They do pseudo-randomness. They can generate, based on a seed, a starting value of some kind. they can generate a table of values using some complex algorithm. And when you roll a random chance in a game like this, it just checks, oh nice, Zelda. It checks what the next number in that table is, and gives you a result based on that number. Okay, so another thing I want to check. Let's say we go outside. Wild concept, I know. And we cut one bush. Theoretically, okay, we didn't get the same figurine. So some set of actions there did change the random value. It would make sense if that was cutting the bush, because bushes have a random chance to drop an item. Hey, there's a Helmasaur. But it could be that the map transition also advances the random number table. Okay, so that's Vestari. We have Vestari. Let me just make absolutely sure. If we hit trade, get a blue egg. Blue egg is Vestari. Yes. If we leave and re-enter, do we still get Vestari? No. What if we leave and re-enter again? Do we still get the matter pillar? No. So changing maps must in some way influence the random number table. See? They're bob-ombs. And having advancement on a non-random event okay, let's walk around for a minute. Walking does not change the random value. Does rolling? Yes! That's interesting. Okay, so that gave us the chaser again. That changed it. And that changed it again. Hi, Pistari. Okay, that was still the one roll, so that should be... Hmm. Okay. Giving it another roll did change it again. Okay, that's the story again. That should be the story. Yes. What if we walk, like, there, and then roll? Okay, that's still Festari. What I'm curious about is if the random number table is advancing because of the number of dust particles that show up when you roll. That doesn't seem to be the case. We're getting the same result no matter where we roll from. But if we roll twice, now it's a green egg. That was a third roll. I think. It's hard to keep track. It was. That was 4 and 5. That should just be 4. Okay, I've lost track of any level of specificity. We're back to Festari. Oh, hold on. You've already traded your shells away. If you leave without trying, you just wasted your shells. It does stop us if we try to leave. Nice. So what we're getting is a very interesting look at how random number generation works in Minish Cap. So we got a roll a bite the first time. With one roll, we get Forest Picori. With a second roll, we get the Carpenters. With a third, we get something gold. A Caterpillar. Roll number 4. Get this Anju. Roll 5. Still Anju. We get a 6th roll. That's green now. Spiked Beetle. That should be 8. That was too many rolls. That was a 9th. Hey there, Pistari. Hey there, Pistari. I don't have any other words. Stockwell. My man. I think we're on 11 rolls now. Nice. One roll. Same result. Interesting. 2 roll. Three roll. Now something's different. Not different enough. 4 roll. Five roll. Nice. It is a little funny to me that we are very literally re-rolling these figures. That's a third roll. That should be 4. Five. That's a gold egg. Do we get a golden rope? Nope. Golden Octorok. Seven rolls. An 8th for good measure. There we go, now we're onto something green. Oh, they're just called spiny beetles. They don't look very spiny to me. The other question, I suppose, is how many steps does each roll advance the random number generator? Okay. So we got Peaceful Hyrule 1 from the first roll here. We got Festari from the second. Do we get Festari right away here? No. So how many rolls does it take for us to get another Festari? This is 3. That makes 4. I wonder if it just doesn't work that way. That's Potho. So we've taken... This will be the 6th pull we've taken after Peaceful Hyrule 1. And we haven't seen Festari, and we haven't seen Wheaton and Peta. Well, we got a golden rope. So either either we're skipping a lot of values in that table. By rolling. Or it just doesn't happen in a completely uniform way. Wow, my friend, you've just gotten the last figurine in the machine. I'll make some more, so please come back again. Ah, you again. I don't have any new figurines yet. Would you like to draw for one anyway? Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16... 51. 51 figurines currently available through the power of what I would call a truly excessive amount of RNG manipulation. We were able to take care of all of them. But again, don't ever let someone tell you how you're allowed to play a game. I mean, unless you're actively competing and need to use the same rules as everyone else in the competition. It's one thing to manipulate things in your favor for a single-player game. Something completely disconnected from any kind of competition or any impact on another person. It's another thing to cheat in a competitive multiplayer game, for instance, or cheat on a speedrun or something like that. You know, if you're going to utilize RNG manipulation in a speedrun, that has to be a known quantity. And unless you're doing a tool-assisted speedrun, you can't do it like I just did. Gosh darn it. Excellent. In my case, The fact is that I've played through Minish Cap probably a double-digit number of times. And I have gotten 100% one of those times. Not on original hardware, but not with the ability to do what I just did there. That was on the 3DS Virtual Console, and the 3DS Virtual Console for Game Boy Advance games may as well be original hardware. They don't give you any new functionality. Nice. Is that by any chance the one we need? It sure is. Cool. Maybe we can pay the Krenel Hermit a visit. Also, now we can go between these areas. Figured I'd take care of that before we went back up the mountain. Because good grief, it's been like an hour since we made any progress. We need to get rid of that rock if we're going to fling ourselves over here. So it is possible that we could skip past this piece. And I'm just forgetting. Oh yeah, there's totally just a ladder, huh? Well, I feel a little silly. Let's go see the Krenel Hermit. There we go. I was gonna say, the fact that none of these boulders have hit me, despite a couple of them bouncing right over the top of me. The other question is, does the Krenel Hermit still have this Kinstone fusion? No. That's something I forgot to check on. Don't mind me, just gonna climb back down the mountain. Because I mentioned last time that there is an in-game tracker for the number of Kinstone fusions you have left. And all you need to physically get to where that tracker is the Cane of Pachi. But I don't know if that'll be available as soon as we get the cane. I'm not sure that I've ever properly taken out that Octorok. Okay. Door isn't there. Might show up after the Cave of Flames. Let me see if that cat was one. Okay, cat has no thoughts. Growler across the water had a fusion. The tricky thing with those random ones is that they're not consistent. You know, shocker. Random things are random. But it could very well be that because we didn't have that one triangle wedge, this is fine. It could be that because we didn't have that one triangle wedge piece, we saw 3 or 4 people who had it, but they were all offering us the same fusion. Narratively, that doesn't make any sense, but gameplay-wise, the outcome is the important part of the fusion. Let's check the Mountain Minish before we move on. I don't think I'll be able to use Kinstones when I do that now. No. No. Nope. And no. Okay. I mean, we will get all of them. It's just a matter of when. For now, we've spent way too long wandering around doing nothing of significance. Well, not nothing. I'll give myself more credit than that. There's a madness to my method. We were learning how random number generation works in Minish Cap. Also, we got figures of the Chaser like 5 times. And we hadn't actually encountered Chasers yet. this room is the location of a significant speedrunning trick. I'm fairly certain that in the time that I was practicing Minish Cap speedruns, which was at the start of 2021, I think that I only got that trick to work maybe once. Gosh darn it. This could be an issue. Whoops. In case you're curious, we can flip things over the wrong way as well. Okay. Well, I tried. Anyway, the speedrun skip in this dungeon is really cool. You can just completely skip this entire wing, essentially. But I'm not good at it. I don't remember how to do it. And you know, despite shenaniganizing for the figurines, I do want to mostly play this game as intended. Interesting. I really expected that to get me, or to properly go into that. Oh. You'd think with all the hot air rising off of the lava that flying over lava would kind of naturally sustain itself. Maybe that's a flawed understanding of physics, though. I mean, I don't know how appropriate it is to debate the physical possibility of a child using a hat to float around by jumping into a whirlwind. There's a fairy there. Would have been a little annoying to get that way if I'd needed a fairy in a bottle. Anyway, here's the boss of the Cave of Flames. Look at that lava grow. Don't step in it, it will hurt. Don't get hit by the rocks either. There's a lot going on in this fight. Case in point. As long as the shell there is glowing, you cannot flip it. Eh. I must have just gotten it to a phase change or something. There we go. Not too bad of a boss. And we have the fire element now. Oh, that was hot. It was so hot I thought my fibers would catch fire. But it's over now. I suppose we should go back and speak to Malari. And that we will. Oh, you made it back safely. Fantastic. We were all starting to get worried. I think your sword might be ready. The boss was just putting the finishing touches on it a second ago. Wow, that was fast work, but not so fast that I didn't finish your sword. I don't think you know the meaning of the word fast. I spent like an hour doing space-time shenanigans to get toys. Here, take a look. I call this new blade the White Sword. Sparkly. Once you infuse it with the power of the elements, it will become a sacred blade. The Forest Elder no doubt told you this part, but if you want to infuse the sword, you must go to the Elemental Sanctuary. The Sanctuary is a strange realm, trapped between two worlds. It is the bridge between the Minish world and the human world. The doorway to the Sanctuary opens only once every 100 years. You'll find that door hidden within Hyrule Castle. Once the blade's been filled with the power of the four elements, you should be able to break the curse on your princess. I know you can do it. After all, you made short work of that human mine. Let me tell you about a shortcut you can use to get down from the mountain. You'll find it right in front of the entrance of the mine you just explored. Follow that and you'll be down in no time. Good luck. Kinstones, anybody wanna fuse the kinstone? Just, you know, thought I'd check while I'm here. Nope, that was just rock. Well, our tracker should be available now. As should be a couple more people we can fuse with. Oh yeah, the White Sword does double damage, by the way. Interesting. I guess you can only flip the rock once they've already... come out of hiding. There should be a total of 22 Kinstone fusions available until we get to that particular plot point that I mentioned before. That poor Octorok. It's almost like we've been through here a bajillion times. He's still not there. Where in the Kulu Limpa are you? You know, don't mind me just quietly walking into people. Sorry, but I can't let you pass. We've sealed the area off because of Vati. I'm not sure why we think that Vati's just gonna show up in the garden. But, you know, you do you. Are you sure I look alright? I never know what to wear to formal occasions. A sanctuary? No, I think I have seen something like that in the castle. Sanctuary? The Minister's fairy tales mention a sanctuary, I think. Hey. A sanctuary? You know, I do recall a story my grandmother once told me, long ago. She said she saw a doorway appear in the palace courtyard as a child. If this door does indeed open only once a century, it may be open even now. As with the Bakori themselves, the door is visible only to the eyes of a child. We might have walked past it recently and never even known it was there. Oh, Link, you have returned. Welcome. Did you gather the elements? What? A sanctuary, you say? Why, I've heard of no such thing in my castle. We would be able to use kinstones with the king and or Potho. So it could be, hopefully, that we've just gotten all the kinstone fusions that are available right now. Link, look! See how that doorway glows? Could that be the door that leads to the sanctuary? Nobody in the castle seems able to see it but you and me. You can tell because nobody else is in here, so we can't confirm that detail at all. Let's go, quickly. I really like the music in this area. So this is the Elemental Sanctuary, then. This is where we can infuse your blade with the power of the elements. Yes, there seems to be a pedestal for your sword right in the middle there. And more disco tiles. Well, only one thing to do. I am sad that because we get the earth element and then the fire element before we get the opportunity to infuse them, we never get to have a purple sword. See if I can't read that tablet for you. Fill your sword with power and walk over the glowing tile. Perhaps it refers to those flashing spots on the floor around you? Well, what are you waiting for? Try it, Link. So this, I imagine, is why they require you to get the spin attack before this point. Whoa, you just split in two. So this is the power of the white sword. I guess you can double yourself like that anytime you see those panels. We've officially unlocked the ability to become our own dance partner. RIP. When I was substantially younger, I consistently misheard one of my friends talking about this game and thought that he was talking about the element of Sanctuary. Interesting. You're the last person I expected to find here. And just as I was wondering who could be behind this, I find my old master. Ati. And as always, you are dressed in the shabbiest of rags. My curses are not to be mocked. The one I cast on you is most powerful. No matter what power you wield, you will never break it. You haven't changed in the slightest. I should never have created that cap. It only fueled your insane desires. Cool. A cap that grants the wishes of its wearer is a spectacular creation. Thanks to you, I have gone from being a meek, minuscule nothing to the greatest sorcerer alive. You cannot stop me now, and I have you to thank for it. Accept this small gesture of gratitude from me. Wait! Vati, wait! Oh, Vati, what could he be scheming now? Link, I feel I owe you an explanation of what has happened. You see, Vati and I are both Minish. I was once a famous sage and a renowned Minish craftsman. Vati was only a boy when I took him on as my apprentice. But he became enchanted by the wickedness in the hearts of men. One day, Vati took a hat I made for the humans, my pride and joy. It granted the wishes of its wearer. He put it on without permission. Vati, what are you doing there? Oh, what a vile form you've taken. I am a sorcerer now, and my power is beyond compare. No longer will I tire away as your apprentice. Now all shall call me master. Why, Vati? What are you plotting? This year, On the day that comes but once a century, the portal opens. And when it does, I shall claim the light force as my own. I will be transformed, perfect, and there will be none who can stop me. Tell me, how does it feel, my sorcerer's curse? You see, Eslo, I am truly your master now, and you cannot stop me. And with that, I must be leaving. You know the legends, of course. The gift the Picori gave the humans. What you call the Picori Blade was the first of these gifts. The second, well, you call it Light Force, but it is a source of limitless magical power. If Vati were to get it now, it would be devastating. I came to the world of men hoping to stop Vati, and I met you in the woods. But it seems we won't be breaking the curse on me anytime soon. However, with the Sacred Blade, we can certainly restore Princess Zelda. I'm sorry. All that has happened has been due to my own pride, my folly. I must rely on you, on your power, until we put an end to Vati. Well, Link, enough fairy tales. We must search for the next element. Rightio. Don't mind me just rolling halfway back across the plains to get a single rupee. I don't intend to make any more plot progress this stream, but there are a couple of things that I can clean up now that we have the power of Disco. Incorrect. Still not here. That must require slightly more plot advancement. Ooh, actually, that's something we can do. A new sword. Fantastic. And you seem to have acquired new skills with it. Yes, I am ready to train you again, young swordsman. So, will you accept this new training? I will now teach you a technique called the Rock Breaker, so pay attention. First, swing your sword to break pots. Actually, that's all there is, young swordsman. Do you understand? Yes, good. If you had said you didn't understand, I would have serious doubts about you. Yes, but one must feel the technique, not just hear about it. That's why I will now possess your body so as to demonstrate the technique. That is the secret of the Swift Blade Possession technique of training. Watch this. Possession! Now, you must try it yourself. Break the pots with your sword. That's all. Yes, fine work. Fantastic, even. I will now give you this Tiger Scroll. If you ever forget this technique, you can review it with this scroll. So now, we can just break pots and boulders. Also, actually, if we talk to Swiftblade again, come again will you learn to run like the wind. It won't be too long before that happens, Normally I consolidate those two steps, but we've been wandering around enough and I've had to deal with enough rocks that I just don't want. But yeah, now we can break rocks. You'd think the ability to shatter stone with our sword on its own would make your sword do even more damage. No. It's only effective against pots and rocks. I won't deny that it's kind of a weird thing to make into a trained sword skill rather than just, you know, something that happens automatically when you get the new sword. But now we can deal with the disco. Get a piece of heart, fill up a heart container, get some money, get some more. Believe not what others tell you. I am the true Master Swordsman of Hyrule. My name is Greyblade, and if you train with me, you will learn much. So, would you like to train here? Yeah. You will learn the amazing roll attack. First, roll with the control pad and R. Second, as soon as you get up. Third, scream, "Hya!" and swing your sword. That's all, young swordsman. Do you understand? Yeah. Oh, well answered. You have much promise. But one must feel the technique, not just hear about it. That's why I will now possess your body so as to demonstrate the technique. This is the Greyblade possession technique of training. Watch this. Possession! Now, you must try it yourself. Roll, and then swing your sword as soon as you get up. Yes, fine work. You know the way. I will now give you this tiger scroll. If you ever forget this technique, you can review it with this scroll. I like using the roll attack as a method of transportation just because it keeps your momentum a little longer. But also, if you actually hit an enemy with it, for one thing, you can I'm not very good at it. But you can trigger the attack earlier into your roll. Because you can see Link kind of does a full spin around. So you can do it right as you're getting up. Or you can do it right as you start the roll and essentially just do a diving stab. let's check our map. Nothing going on in Mount Krennel. Nothing going on in the Mount Krennel base, which is about normal. Stuff going on in the garden that we can't get to. Can't get to that. Or that. Nothing happening down there. Couple things we can't get to in Minish Woods. And in Lon Lon Ranch. Nothing going on in Vale Falls. Okay. I'm not sure where we stand on Kinstone Fusions. I'll have to review the lists that I've got. But one way or another, we're going to get all of them. That's going to do it for this evening, though. So, again, Minish Cap kind of whenever I feel like it. I mean, the plan will be next Tuesday. It just might happen again before then if I feel particularly like playing Minish Cap. Pokemon on Saturday. Should be 11 Central. And yeah, we'll go from there. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great night. Everyone.